Good morning, market snipers. This is Jesse. Welcome back. It's 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 hour earlier than normal. Woo, I barely made it. 20 seconds to spare, getting everything set up. So here we are, 1 hour early, rocking and rolling, a little bit off my regular routine in the morning. So here we go, right? The title is Bitcoin about to crash, right? Is Bitcoin about to crash? MicroStrategy is down. Well, when I checked last, it was down 31%, right? So down 31%. We've been talking about it. We've been covering it. Good morning, Scar. Good morning, Scar. Welcome back. We've been talking about it even a couple of days ago. MicroStrategy had a pending sell signal. If you go back to the previous live streams, there was we were talking about that there's a pending sell signal in MicroStrategy. So we're going to get into that today. This is going to be a shorter version. Thank God it's Friday, TGIF. Like I said, the reason why I'm not doing 9 a.m. is because I have an appointment to go to. So definitely going to be, this will be about 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. We're going to squeeze it out. We don't want to shortchange this live stream. We're going to go hard in the paint. But if you're going to have any requests for me to chart, make sure to get them in early so that I can keep an eye on the clock, and we'll get going over here. Lawrence, good morning. Welcome back. We're going to jump right in. Gert, Jan, Tenhove, hello. Welcome. Good evening over there, Gert. Good evening over there. Good morning over here at 8 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to get going. Bitcoin is down 4.4%. Well, I was going to say 4.36%, and then it jumped to 4.4%, right? So it wicked all the way up to $49,000 yesterday, right? We know that. Let's see. Rian Van der Walt. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. An hour early today. Yep. Ollie, hi. Welcome back, everybody. Down over 4% today in Bitcoin. We didn't predict anything, right? We didn't predict anything. You know, a lot of people like to say they predict and blah, blah, blah. We had two scenarios mapped out, though, right? We had two scenarios mapped out. And we mapped those scenarios out more than a month ago. It was 1 month and 7 days or 5 days ago, right? So call it 5 weeks, at least 5 weeks. 5 weeks ago, we mapped out two scenarios. The first scenario, which is a strong possibility now, 5 weeks later, the first scenario was that price would come up and hit longer term target 4. Then we could see the next buy the dip scenario before the next halving. And we've been talking about this for more than 5 weeks, right? So definitely go check out that last video that I did on Sunday. There's like at least 5 days ago, I did a video with all the details, but I've been covering it every day on the live stream as well. Price go up, hit longer term target 4, right? And it did. And now we'll find out if it plays out to where scenario 1 now comes to be the next buy the dip opportunity, right? So many times we've been drawing this out for the last 5 weeks. Would price come up like this, come back down, put a lower high, come down, hit these targets, and then that would be the next buy the dip scenario. May not play out exactly like that, but that was just the general overall idea that price would come up, price would come down, a lower high would be put in, which is the higher probability. A lower high is the higher probability that we're going to see a retracement, right? Now, it might not look like that. It might be much faster than that. If we look over at MicroStrategy, this is what I'm talking about. MicroStrategy, right? Put in the similar, not the same, but very similar wick as Bitcoin, right? Look at that. Look at that candle wick over there. Looks almost identical, right? And then MicroStrategy had the same exact candle with wick, right? Broke down, and then the next day pumped up a little bit. This is the lower high that was put in, and that's when Michael Saylor sold, according to sources on the Twitter X app over there. According to sources, they posted a SEC filing. I didn't actually go on the SEC filing myself to double check, but They posted the SEC filing that Michael Saylor sold over $200 million worth of MicroStrategy. Many speculated that he's buying Bitcoin. We don't know if he was or not, but many were speculating that. So it pumped down. So after this candle, a gap down. Bitcoin, you can see it's breaking down, right? So it's a lot of similarities. And we were talking about this, and we were covering it, and we talked about this, and we covered it, and we talked about it, and we covered it. Is MicroStrategy a leading indicator on this one, right? We talked about it even when it was leading to the upside, right, as a potential indicator. Now it's hit 3 of the 4 targets to the downside so far. It's currently below the 3rd target, may not hit the 4th target right away. Maybe it finds support, bounces, lets the trending dots catch up, and then comes back down to the 4th target. Then we will find out if that is going to be the next buy the dip scenario. We'll watch it, let it play out, and wait for the reversal of that play, right? We're not just going to guess that the bottom is in here. Oh, I'm not. Obviously, this is not financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only. And obviously, hopefully you find this a little bit entertaining from time to time. We'll try to be a little entertaining from time to time. Whether it finds support here, or comes all the way back down to the 200-week moving average. Silver did. Silver is catching a bounce now. It went below the 200-week moving average. I think there is a reversal candle pending on silver. We can take a look at it. It's up 2.5% today. Pending reverse candle, but price went below the 200-week moving average. And I put that out in the Twitter X app on a poll. Hey, silver did a round trip back to the 200-week moving average. Do you think it's possible that Bitcoin does? Do you think it's possible that gold does? Do you think it's possible that Apple does, right? Yada, yada, yada. So Pancho Guerrera, good morning, everyone. Welcome back, Pancho. Caesar, welcome back. Good morning. Ramos. Ramos. I'm trying to roll my R's. I don't even know. Let me know in the comments, Caesar, if that sounds stupid, if that sounds ridiculous and it sounds awful. Let me know. It's okay. Aldo misspells my name all the time on purpose to keep the balance. Let me know if that was a bad pronunciation, but not doing it to be mean, doing it because I suck at it and whatever. Terrible. Yes, terrible. All right. Yeah. Hey, we know what our weaknesses are. But we also definitely know what our strengths are. And this is our strengths, right? Tesla John, good morning. When do you expect to bounce back with a smaller trace on this current correction? For what? MicroStrategy or Bitcoin? We cover them both. When? I mean, I don't have a magic crystal ball of when, but let the correction do its thing, right? Let the correction do its thing, and then wait for a higher probability reversal, waiting for the ship to get turned around, and then buy the right dip, right? That's when. So let's get back to it. Bitcoin, right? Is Bitcoin following MicroStrategy? That is the question. That's what we've been asking. Is MicroStrategy leading the way? Is the tail wagging the dog, or is the dog still wagging the tail, right? That is the question. Maybe a lot of people don't know that reference, but it's an old saying. You can Google it. I'm not here to give you the definition of it. BTC, like a level of support. Oh, well, we don't even know it's officially in a correction or not. There's a lot of reasons why, and I mapped it out here on the Twitter X app. Case for the Bitcoin bulls. Monthly chart is still bullish. Weekly is currently ultra bullish. Daily is currently bullish. Case for the BTC bears. Monthly is extended away from the trending dots. Weekly is overbought, quote unquote. Can remain overbought. It's been overbought for the weekly chart for a long time. Daily has bearish divergence, could remain diverged. We've been watching it be Bitcoin have bearish divergence on the daily chart since October, right? Since October. Ugly bearish candle. We talked about that. Pending sell signal on the 2-hour chart. Yeah, we went down to the 2-hour chart. I think it was pending sell signal on the 4-hour now, at least, probably, maybe the 8-hour. We can take a look. MicroStrategy had a sell signal, DXY had a pending buy signal, didn't actually have a buy signal, but it had a pending buy signal. Russell 2000 has a pending sell signal, no longer has a pending sell signal. So those are all the reasons why yesterday it was starting to look bearish, right? Can you look at crypto SEI USD, Gert? Sure. Yeah, we can take a look at it. Thanks for getting in early because we're going to try to keep this one to about 30 minutes. Not only is it Friday, but we got to get an appointment to get to. Could probably run a few minutes over. So we'll try to get through as many charts as possible. We're not doing bad though. 8 a.m., an hour earlier than normal. Trying to warm up the mouth. try to warm it up over here. Okay, so we don't know for sure, but areas of support are going to be targets, right? Sniper targets. You got this sniper target. So I drew these out, the eyeball test. They were very close. They were very close to actual targets. So I lined them up a little bit better. But I drew these out on the live stream yesterday, I believe. And so I did dial them in a little bit better based off of this new wick up here, right? So based off of that wick, I did dial in the targets. They were just eyeballed targets yesterday, but I have since dialed them in. And I'd prefer to do a box, right? And it is possible that we see Bitcoin as low as down here, but I think it's the lowest probability, and I don't think it happens, but it is a possibility, right? And it is right around that 30,000, just below $30,000, just below the 200-week moving average. Remember, silver just went below the 200-week moving average. It is possible. We'll take a look at it. The next possible buy the dip scenario, we talked about it for 5 weeks, could come up like this, could come back down, maybe puts in a lower high, and then comes back down. However it plays out, find support, right? Key target area, find support, heading out into the halving, right? Heading into the halving, and that would be kind of the next possible buy the dip scenario. Would look something like this in my mind. We've been playing that out for 5 weeks. It's not confirmed that it's going to play out like that. It's a potential that it could play out like that. And we've been saying it's a potential since back here. So we're not going to say that we predicted it, but we did have 2 scenarios, right? And this was main scenario 1. And then remember, scenario 2 was come down, put in a lower high, lower high, lower high, come back down for the next buy the dip scenario. So both of those were our thoughts. It was our thinking. It was our thesis. It was what we thought. And then, of course, we said, of course, price could just go straight to the moon like many of the influencers thought. Or the perma bears is going to go to 0, right? That's not what we thought. That's what we kept saying. That's not what we thought. These were the 2 scenarios that we thought were going to play out, right? We didn't think it was just going to go straight to the moon. I know the ETF approvals, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it could be a sell the news type of event, right? Not confirmed yet. Ugly bearish candle yesterday. Has a lot of similarities as MicroStrategy over the past few days or going back a week now on MicroStrategy. So many similarities, right? So we'll see. We'll see if it plays out or not. This is what we're still watching on MicroStrategy. And is the tail wagging the dog, right? So we will see. That's Bitcoin. That's MicroStrategy. It was down 31% when I did the title earlier. Came down wicked to 32.13%. We don't know if it's going to hit the 4 target right away, or if it bounces back up, puts in another lower high, lets the trending dots catch up, comes back down, hits this target. Who knows if it comes back down even lower, right? But as of right now, MicroStrategy is not going to the moon. MicroStrategy is not going to 1 million. As of right now, Bitcoin is down 4%. It's not going to the moon. It's not going to 1 million today, right? We're swing traders, right? Eventually, Bitcoin will go to the moon. When? We don't know. But based off of our longer term chart that we put out, it would be sometime in 2024, probably the end of 2024, maybe quarter 3, quarter 4, but maybe even longer than that, 2025. If it plays out similar to previous cycles, Then there was a buy the dip scenario before the halving. And then that was kind of like one of the last and few buy the dip scenarios. Probably only going to be 2 or 3, bigger buy the dip scenarios in a bull run, assuming we get a bull run, right? Never a guarantee that we get a full bull run, but we're hoping for it. And we hope it plays out. And if it does, we are prepared for it. We are prepared for it. So let's jump over to gold. Had that sell signal. Looks like it could be possibly reversing. Does have a pending buy signal. We'll see how this candle kind of plays out. Could just be putting in a lower high, right? Because look, you had a high, you had a higher high with bearish divergence, started to break down again. Will it put in a lower high and then come back down? That's what silver did, right? That's what silver did. So silver, which has been a leading indicator on gold many times over and over again, right? We've called it out for years, right? Not always, but many times it can be a leading indicator. Get a high, get a lower high. After the sell signal came all the way back below the 200-week moving average, right? Started to find bottom with the wick there, 22.48. Started to reverse back around. Now we have a pending reversal candle, right? And this arrow is out here for a higher probability. We put this arrow out here before today, right? We put that out before today. So as it's correcting and going through correction, this is our next possible buy the dip scenario. We're not guessing back here. We're not guessing back here. We're not guessing all the way down here, right? We're waiting for a higher probability. I'm waiting for a higher probability reversals. This is a pending reversal candle. You start getting closes back above the trailing dots. You start getting closes back above this downward trend line, and you start getting like a pending buy signal. Then the probabilities are starting to increase that silver will be finding bottom, has found bottom, and then that would be the next buy the dip scenario in silver, right? That is silver. Ethereum continues to be bullish, right? Is ultra bullish on the daily chart. We talked about this as Bitcoin dominance is dropping, right? We talked about this and covered it. There's bearish divergence on Bitcoin dominance, followed by a reversal candle, broke down, hit 4 of the 4 targets to the downside, pumped back up, put it in a lower high, and it's just crashing down right now, right? It's crashing down. So what this could line up with what we've been talking about is that while Bitcoin starts its correction, we could see possibly some alts correct. While Bitcoin goes through correction, we could see some alts pump, but staying very cautious, cautiously optimistic, because a lot of times when Bitcoin goes through a correction, altcoins also go through correction. So cautiously optimistic. Will Ethereum pump up to this target and then correct after that? Or will it break through, right? So that's something that we're going to continue to watch. This target was hit, longer-term target. We'll see if it pumps up, hits this longer-term target, and then starts its correction. Sand hit 4 targets to downside, reverse candle, start pump back up, buy signal, cautiously optimistic. Remember, could just be a lower high. There's a higher probability out here, right? We will see on sand. We don't know if the bottom is officially in or not. Cautiously optimistic. Same with mana, right? AKA Decentraland. Reversal, buy signal outside of the downward trend line. Possibility, just back testing above the trending dots. Cautiously optimistic. If you're trading, make sure you got your stop losses in, folks, right? Make sure you got your risk management dialed in, right? Chainlink, reversal candle, broke out of the downward trend line, buy signal above the trending dots. They're all starting to look very similar, right? This is a possibility. This is why we're staying cautiously optimistic. Even though it might have found bottom, some of these crypto assets only retraced to target 1 and didn't even go all the way to 4 targets, right? So it is possibility that this would be the downside, right? And this is the higher probability out here, right? Wherever that is, here, right? That is the higher probability. So we're still watching and cautiously optimistic on some of these crypto assets. Solana, right? Breaking back down. So Is this a lower high? Is it going to actually hit a target to the downside? Solana is one of the few that did not hit any of the targets to the downside. Some of them hit 4 targets. Some of them hit 2 targets. So they're not all going to hit the exact same targets. But that Solana could be a possible lower high. Could see another sell signal, right? Still trending downward as of right now. And so we could see target 1 get hit, and then this would be the next buy the dip scenario. Cautiously optimistic as Bitcoin's breaking down below $44,000, down 5% today. There were so many influencers yesterday talking about buying ETFs of Bitcoin, buying more Bitcoin because we're going straight to $55,000, right? So many saying we're going to $70,000. So many saying we're going to $100,000 because the ETFs are here. And we've been throwing out so many cautions that, when CME futures went live, it was about the same timing as the bear market was about to roll over for Bitcoin anyways, right? These ETFs got approved, but price had been overextended for a long time. There's been bearish divergence since October. So we trust the charts. We trust what we see on the charts. We continue to do that, and we continue to be on the right side of things. We're not taken off guard. We're not surprised that Bitcoin is breaking down on the daily chart. We're not surprised that there's a pending sell signal on the 12-hour chart for Bitcoin after that bearish wick. We've been talking about it. We've been covering it. We're not surprised MicroStrategy is breaking down. All of that, right? We'll do our best to stay on the right side of things. Let's switch gears over here to NASDAQ. That was Bitcoin and crypto, right? We've been talking about, let's get back on the daily chart. We've been talking about the NASDAQ, right? Bearish divergence, broke down, hit target 1. Will it put in a lower high, right? We don't know yet. It's currently above where that potential lower high was. And one of the other potentials was that we talked about is it could pump all the way back up to that trend line or get very close or wick up to it and then maybe close slightly below. It's possible, but it is currently bullish on the daily chart, right? It's back above the trending dots. There's a green trending dot, and the low might be in, right? It is possible. Got to stay neutral. It's very close. So we'll see how it plays out in the coming days. I'm not in a short position on the NASDAQ. So it's kind of a wait and see. I'm definitely not in a buy, but I'm not in a short either. So I look for things that are more clear. And if they're starting to look more clear, then I'll take a position to the downside, right? So again, remember, the bearish divergence started to break down. And what I said was a lower high is the higher probability that we're going to go see lower prices. We don't have that lower high working out yet. We don't know yet. So far, only target 1's been hit so far. SP 500, similar thoughts. On the lower time frames, I had this rising wedge, broke down. Will it put in a lower high? It's possible. Too early to say. Dow Jones, battling. Looks like it's starting to break back down again. 12-hour candle, right? Pending sell signal on the 12-hour candle. Still battling. Hasn't even hit target 1 yet. There's a lot of confluence there. Target 2, target 3, possibly even target 4. Who knows, right? Russell 2000 broke down, came all the way back up, wicked all the way up. And now we have a pending sell signal again. We had a pending sell signal early this morning. It pumped all the way back up close to the trending dots, almost back tested that trend line. And now it's dropped all the way back down again with another pending sell signal. Remember 2021, right? Bitcoin and Russell 2000 corrected first. The NASDAQ, Dow Jones, SP 500 followed closely behind. The Russell 2000 could be a leading indicator, right? The MicroStrategy could be a leading indicator. Bitcoin was down 5%, could be a leading indicator, right? It was down more than 5%, below $44,000, right? Many people are taken off guard. Many perma bulls are still hoping, well, it's still above the trend line. Well, it's still above the trending dots. Then what's going to happen? They won't ever sell, right? The same thing in 2021. They never sold. Literally 3 months, they kept moving the goalposts, and they kept saying, well, it never took out this low, right? That was on the daily chart. Then it never took out the low in the weekly chart. Then it never took out the low in the monthly chart. They kept moving the goalposts. They kept the hopes and dreams alive because they were so far off and so far wrong. This is preseason, right? This is preseason. This was, we're going to test you again, right? This is the test. This is the test. And we're going to find out, and you're going to see all the influencers not take profits again, right? They're not going to take profits. If we get a sell signal and it breaks down and we get a 30% or more correction, they didn't sell it again, right? They didn't sell it again. They'll move to the weekly chart. They'll move to the monthly chart, and they'll just stick on the monthly chart. And when it starts to reverse back around again, then they'll say, I told you so, blah, blah, blah. Well, they won't sell again. They didn't sell in 2021. They won't stack more Bitcoin. They won't do it, right? And so what makes you think they're going to sell the next top or the real top? This is a potential local top. If they didn't sell 2021, and we're talking about major accounts, right? Major expert accounts. So a lot of them even sell courses out there, right? And they don't sell this local top and they didn't sell 2021 top. Trust me, they didn't sell. What makes you think they're going to sell the next top, right? Give me a break. So we'll do it. We're not going to nail it perfectly every time, but we're trying to capture 80 to 90% of the moves. We'll continue sniping the markets together. And that's my rant for the day. All right, let's get back to the charts. DXY dollar has had many, well, not many. The DXY, we'll come back to the comments. I see some of the comments. Myrna, bacon, not to be confused with the food bacon. But, oh, God, I love me some food bacon, right? Spelled differently, but Myrna, longtime market sniper. Good morning. Welcome back. Market sniper queen over there. We've had many pending buy signals on the daily chart, right? Many pending buy signals on the daily chart. A few wicks to fake outs to the upside, or 4 wicks so far. It's just a matter of time, right? It looks like it's putting in a higher low that we've been talking about for about a week now. Pending buy signals for about a week. It's going to have I'd be surprised now if it doesn't have a buy signal. So the dollar is lining up with a lot of these potential corrections, right? The dollar is lining up and could break out to the upside for at least a retracement. We will see. 10-year yields broke out, had a buy signal, could be putting in a higher low. We kind of mapped this out a few days ago. Maybe it puts in a higher low by the trending dots and then comes out like that. So we talked about it. We covered it. Hit 4 of the 4 targets to the downside. We talked about it back here. There was bearish divergence, possible lower high, sell signal broke down, right? We know that. The VIX up 1.69% today. We talked about this after hitting 200-week moving average. It dropped, right? We got a lot of pump ups, had a low, possible higher low, buy signal, hit target 1 twice, possible another higher low, right? Possible another higher low here, slight higher low, possible double bottom, right? So that's the VIX, the volatility S&P 500 index. What does that mean? What is that, Jesse? What is that? All right, well, let me tell you. Let me tell you my take on it and the overall take. The overall take is that it's the volatility of the S&P 500, right? And typically when it pumps, it means that the market is going through a correction. There's volatility. It's not just taking the stairs up, and there's actually more volatility in the market, and that typically you see a correlation of that the market is correcting and the VIX is pumping, right? So I circled the 200-week moving average. We got these 4 targets mapped out, a low, higher low, slight higher low, aka double bottom, possibly in the works. Too early to say. We don't know. It's up 1.77% so far. That's pretty much it. We'll take a quick look at the Magnificent Seven. probably going to tell us exactly the same thing as the NASDAQ, pretty much flat. NVIDIA is pretty much flat. Still ultra bullish on the daily chart as of now. Still ultra bullish on Meta, daily chart as of now. Amazon's flat today. Microsoft is still bullish. Tesla broke down. We talked about this. We covered it. I wasn't in any Tesla. Bearish divergence, reversal candle, started breakdown, sell signal. Never even saw a lower high. Just crashed straight down. And I mapped this out. It was an eyeball test. This yellow line was the eyeball test. Mapped it out on the live streams probably at least a few days ago. And then I drew out the target this morning. This is the 4th out of 4 targets, right? And there could be some profit taking right above the 200-week moving average, which also lines up with the 4th sniper target. So the eyeball test was very close, right? But I mapped it out this morning, and that's the actual 4th target. So we'll see if it finds support here, if it retests the 200-week moving average. I wouldn't be guessing, right? I wouldn't be guessing. I'd be waiting for the next possible buy the dip scenario. It's still bearish on the daily chart. And let's take a look at the weekly chart. There's a pending sell signal on the weekly chart as well. So I wouldn't be guessing that the bottom is in. That's not my style. My style is waiting for a higher probability reversal. And it's hit 4 out of 4 targets. Could be the bottom. But I'm not guessing, right? Apple hit 3 of the 4 targets to the downside, has retraced and bounced off of the 3rd target so far and the upward trend line. Will it put in a higher low at some point? Would this be a bear flag and come back down lower? Still bearish on the daily chart. The weekly chart had a sell signal, and now it's a pending buy. So it could just be a lower high that gets put in. I'm watching it. We're at 32 minutes. We're going to have to call it here very shortly. I've got a few more minutes. I'll do a couple of requests, and that's probably all we're going to have time for. Google weekly chart is still bullish. Daily chart is still bullish over there. Let's circle back over here, and let's go through some of these comments real quick. Good morning. Gert, hello. 1 hour early today. Hi, Jesse. Good morning. Terrible pronunciation of your last name. Ramos. Terrible. Haha. Oh, man. We got to have a little bit of fun, though. Caesar. Is the same Caesar in the Discord? I think so. I think the names are. I have to double check. I'll get back to you today, my man. I'll get back to you today in the direct message. I've got you hooked up, though. Don't worry. I got you hooked up. The reason why I'm asking because I've got an idea for you. I'm gonna hook you up. Market Sniper over there was on one of our private live streams over there, right? One of our private live streams. If it's the same, I think it's the same person. Would you expect to bounce back over smaller trades? Yep, cover that one. BTC, yep. Can you look at crypto SEI? All right, Gert. The first one to ask, first one to receive. There we go. SEI crypto, right? Thanks for putting in USD. That helps you let me know. And crypto. Thanks for letting me know the details so that I can look it up very quickly. If you don't specify an exchange, I'm most likely going to pick Binance. Binance seems to have a lot more chart history than most because it's been around a while. So I'll just pick that. SEI is starting to look like several of the crypto assets. This is a peak. This is a possible lower high, possible breakdown. I'm sure there's bearish divergence. As you can see, it was overbought for a long time, right? There was bearish divergence back here, and it was never cleared out. There's not really any recent bearish divergence, right? Let's jump over the weekly chart. Not even enough chart history on the weekly chart. But the daily chart, there was some bearish divergence. A lot of similarities to some of the other crypto assets that retraced at least 30%. So it's possible it puts in this lower high and retraces more. There's already a 34% correction. There's no sell signal as of right now, but it could be breaking down. And I wouldn't be surprised if it has a sell signal in the near future, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, it breaks down. And so this would be kind of your line in the sand. You kind of drew it out like this, right? That's the kind of the line that I would be watching for. This could be a high. This could be a potential lower high. And you start getting candle closes below the trending dots. You start getting candle closes below the upward trend line. Most likely, you're also getting a pending sell around that same time. You've already got an RSI sell signal over here, right? Then it pumped back up. So I would put one of those, here, let's take that off. I'd put one of those arrows over here, right? You got the arrow up here, right? Above this trend. Trend is your friend, right? And it's going to be a little bit bigger arrow. We're running out of time, so I'm not going to adjust it. But when the trend is over, the trend is no longer your friend, right? For the next buy the dip scenario. So you have to decide what your strategy is. Are you a profit taker, or are you a buy and holder forever and you never take profits, right? So you have to decide what your strategy is. I'm a swing trader, so you know my stance already. And so that would be the next breakdown possibility. Too early to say. Candle closes tell you a lot more. Gert, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Are you still holding your HUT 8 shares? HUT. You want to take a look at HUT over here? HUT. So I do have multiple strategies on HUT. I played options to the upside. I played options to the downside, right? I did play options to both on the downside. I did buy some stock at 880. Some of it I'm still holding. I am still holding a small amount of it, just because it was lunch money and I didn't care. And some of it I closed out some of the stock up here when I put in the option short. But yeah, the answer to your question is some of my lunch money stock I am still holding it because I got in at $8.80, and so I don't really care, right? If it continues if it starts breaking down below 880, I'll probably just close it out, and it doesn't really matter because it'll be at break even anyways. But I think this is just the next buy the dip scenario anyways. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I did close out some of the stock, and then I kept some of the lunch money that I was at 880, right around $8.80. I'm still in it, but I played options to the upside and took profit there. And some of the stock, and then played in some of the stock I did close out there because I had a little bit more than lunch money. And then I did play the options down there, and I put all that in the Discord, right? I put that in the coaching section because it was higher risk strategy. It was more details, and it was based off of lower time frames, right? So I did put that in the recorded coaching channel, the private discussion group over there. So I did talk about that, and I laid out all my reasons why. It was based off of lower time frames, and it was a higher risk strategy. So I did lay all that out. So to get more details on Tesla, John, you'd have to be in recorded coaching, but and understand my strategy overall. Anand Vasundevan. Oh man, I chopped that one up. I'm sorry. Can you please take a look at Tesla? Where's the next support? Yeah, I covered that one. Sorry if I chopped up your name. I apologize. Should I hold Bitcoin for short at night? I don't give financial advice. Do MESE. I don't give financial advice. I'm not your financial planner. I'm not. I don't do that. All I do is show you what I see. You have to make your own decisions, and I'll even show you the strategy that I've developed with 60 plus hours of recorded coaching and mindset and a little bit of psychology and risk management, all that stuff, right? All my thoughts on it are over there, recorded videos. So I don't give financial advice. Myrna, longtime market sniper queen. Good morning. Ooh, we're at 39 minutes. We got to get going here. Yo, back from holidays in a few days. It seems like it's been Sep Her 0TH77. Welcome back, Sep Her. Welcome back. Happy holidays. Probably the last time we ever say this. 12 days in, I put out a post. When is it too late to say happy holidays? Could be potential inverse head and shoulders on Tesla if it's near its bottom. Okay. Good morning, boy. I have a question. Esteban, how did you decide to put your target price on what asset? And I'm not going to get into the exact details, Esteban, because we leave that for the Discord. I put in all the details in the Discord, and then I teach you the strategy in recorded coaching. So we're going to leave that for this. This is a public live stream, so we're not going to get into all the details over there. Sorry, not sorry. There is a small paywall, $29 to get into the Discord. It's small, but you also get the indicators, you get everything. And you're going to get the up-to-date charts. The most recent charts I post first thing in the Discord before everything else, right? With all the details. Cesar Ramos. Yes. Oh, gotcha. I know what you're saying. I got you. Cool. From Discord. Yep. Got you. All right. With that, we're going to call it here. 40 minutes in. We said it's going to be shorter. We said it's going to be about 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes if it gets into overtime, but not your typical 1 hour. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. 1 hour early today. We'll be back at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the next live stream with that. I hope all of you have a great weekend. Spend some time with the family and friends. Get outside of the house. Get outside of the charts. Go do a hike. Whatever you do outside, and go play some golf or go to the beach or go to the lake. Whatever you do in your spare time. Get some of that vitamin D outside. Thank you for all of your support. Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and we will see you on the next video. I think another video is coming out this weekend. Stay tuned. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.